Soundwave884 here. Today we're looking at Studio Series Ratchet. And I'm going to take a look at this figure. I've reviewed Stinger already about a month or so back when they first showed up on the Hasbro Toy Shop. I'll link that description to the video down below. And so today we're looking at this guy, Ratchet. See if he passes my test, my skills for a good figure. And I'll let you know that, my thoughts. But some of the things these figures do come with, they come with these little dioramas that you can then set the figure on, and you have like an actual scene from the movie or so, you know, like a background. So yeah, of course, I guess that helps explain the extra $3 you're paying for this, and also the fact that maybe because they come in a box. Yeah, I don't know. But I'll take a look at this guy, and I have plenty more Studio Series to hit, and I'll try to get one out every single day as I can. Just give you my thoughts, my opinions on these guys. So let's take a look. And this is the Deluxe Class Ratchet in vehicle mode. And it does resemble very closely to how he looked in the first Transformers movie. It's from 2007. And that is what he's going for. In each of these boxes, it tells you which movie this figure is from. He's from the original Transformers. And I do think they did a decent job on the vehicle mode itself. It is very nice. Everything on here is very well done. I don't really seem to have any really blotches of paint or anything that's done wrong on this figure. This here is his weapon, which can be stored up top in the spare tire, or you can take it out and leave it this way. And everything. The blue paint for the lights, everything is very nice, very crisp. Everything about this is very well done. This is a little comparison. This is Studio Series Crowbar. You can get a little sense of the scale, how the two vehicles scale together. And I'll just slide these two to the sides. And this is Voyager Optimus Prime. And they all look pretty good together. I do think Optimus Prime is a little bit too small, but one of the hooks for this, based on what they say, is big screen inspired scale detail, and plus the backdrop that comes in the box. Oh, wrong figure. All right. So like I said, I really do like the vehicle mode. I'm going to go ahead and do my cons on this vehicle mode. Is the problem, and overall with this figure, and what problems I've run into with a lot of the Studio Series figures, is that some tabs will not tab in. So we'll go ahead and show it right off the bat that you can see this back piece here is not fully tabbed in. I can get this side to go in if I force it hard enough, but on the opposite side, I don't have any such luck. See, he keeps wanting to pop out. Also, on this little cage up top, you can see there's two tabs that go in this slots up top here. No matter how hard I push these suckers in, they either both pop out or I'll get one to stay and not get the other one in. Also, the wheels here are supposed to tab in, and they do not stay tabbed. I think this one here stays in tab better than this side. So it gives this weird, when you look at it head on, kind of slanted in look. And I push this grill down, his bumper down. But that's really my biggest problems with this figure in any mode, especially in vehicle mode, is can't get it to stay focused. It doesn't like to stay tabbed in. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this guy in robot mode, and here's a look at Ratchet in his robot mode. Transformation, I would say so far out of the ones I have transformed, he is the simplest for me to transform. It is a very easy transformation. It's very intuitive. Once you get going, you can pretty much tell where things are going to go by looking at them. So he has a very simple transformation. So that part is easy. It's not going to take you, 5 minutes. It'll take you all of, like 2 minutes to get this guy from one mode to the other. head on, everything, as I said, the paint, the silver, everything on him is very well applied. One thing I am liking so far about the Studio Series that I've noticed, I can't remember if all of them are like that, is they have the open hands. I don't always like them when they have the closed hands. This way, it gives them a little bit more life when they're just standing there. They don't just like they're just clenching their fists because they're holding in a bathroom trip or something. Like I said, everything else is very well done. Overall articulation, of course, you can see there's no wrist swivel, and there also is no waist swivel. He has no thigh swivel. He just has ball jointed hips. And then you get what little movement you can get out of that. He's got a good knee bend, but with this big old thing hanging out the back, it does block. But because of transformation, his leg folds all the way in, you can get a good knee bend. Ankles are ball joints, so you can get a really good range of movement and goes pretty much everywhere you want it to go. Shoulders, he has a funky shoulder joint. You can't, because of the big thing here, you can't get too much up there. But you can untab this and get a slight more, but it's not really there. He does have a bicep swivel. And he's got the elbow hinge here, but he's just got the hinge here for transformation, so you can get extra joints. You can get a full close up there. You can touch his own shoulders. For the head, it's just side to side. There is no up and down movement. It's all side to side because of the big neck piece. So overall, articulation is fine. It's pretty much what you would probably come to expect from deluxe class figures nowadays anyway. And he also comes with his weapon here, which he can't hold in his hand, which I really don't care for the look of, because it just looks weird. It's like he's a waiter trying to hand you here's your pie, sir. But you just have slots on either side where you can peg this in and use it as a blade. So that does look good. Now overall, negatives in the robot mode. My copy, I don't know if it could vary from others, has very loose hips. I know that is a fixable problem. One hip is more loose than the other. I would really honestly, paying $20 for this figure and get the box, I shouldn't really have this kind of problem. This should be something that should be solved beforehand. But it needs to be down. Okay. It's there, and if I try to handle him, you can see he won't just collapse. Another thing is the visible backpack syndrome. You don't really notice it too much if you're just looking at him like torso, waist up. But when you look down at his legs, you will see the light bar and everything shining through. But it does give you a place when you're playing, and you can just grab on the back and do stuff without actually having to hold on to the figure. So that can be construed as a positive. And that's really probably my only negatives on this figure in the robot mode. Like I said, the biggest cons on this figure are this thing's not wanting to tab in and the looseness of the hips. And you just have quite the little backpack between the legs. The overall looks, everything else, like I said, is very nice. And for $20, it should be. And what I'm assuming you pay like $3 more for this figure over what you pay for our normal deluxe. And I have noticed on this figure he has less hollow parts. You get a deluxe figure nowadays, they have hollow biceps on the insides, hollow thighs, everything on the inside. He does not seem to have really any of that. It is very, very there's certain spots you got a little hollowness there. There's a little bit hanging in there where the tire goes in. But he does have very thin arms, so that could be one of the reasons why he doesn't have it. But you're paying more money for him, you should expect, I think, a little bit more plastic, a little bit more love to go into these figures. Overall, I'm very pleased with this figure. I do think it could have been a little bit better, but I do think they did a bang-up job on both modes. So far, though, he's one of the ones I wanted the most, and he's also probably one of the ones I'm least impressed with that I have had handled. Anyway, if you like what you saw, please comment, like, and subscribe. Until next one, peace out.